Hey there, it's Markus from Mars Music, also known as the Man from Mars, back for another episode. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm not in Peterborough today, I'm in Toronto. Now don't worry, I'm not here to poorly remake the Bittersweet Symphony video. I did think about maybe I'll just bump into a few people on the sidewalk. Today we're going to talk about, getting better at music, setting up the goalposts. What do I mean? Well, please stay tuned. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching. I couldn't and I wouldn't do it without you. So. And thank you so much for sticking around to watch the rest of the video. Before we get into it, I'd like to share with you one of my superpowers. I mean, surprised? The Man from Mars must have some mysterious powers. We'll skip the origin story for this week, but my superpower is this. I can take a $3,000 synthesizer, pick whatever one you want, and I can make it sound an awful lot like a $400 basic model. I can take that all-Koa Taylor acoustic guitar, and I can make it sound pretty much exactly like the beater that's sitting in a guitar stand right beside the sofa at home. I can do the same thing with expensive microphones. I can make them sound almost indistinguishable from a very basic starter model. It's a pretty incredible superpower, isn't it? And it's because of this superpower that we're talking about the topic of the day, which is to say, have a purpose and set the goalposts. You see, a lot of the time, this isn't what I do. I know better, but I don't actually do it. And I thought it would be so disingenuous for me to have one of the early videos of the Man from Mars just hyping some kind of gear. You know, oh, get this microphone, get this guitar, get this synth, get this piece of software, and it's going to totally revolutionize your music making. Well, the truth is, most of the time, it's not. And it especially won't be if you don't have a purpose in what you're doing, and which is to say also focus, and if you don't set up goalposts. It's so important I even made myself a note. So what's a purpose? What's a goalpost? Well, for example, let's say we're talking about recording and you want your mixes to sound better. Well, what's the goalpost? Well, I suppose you could decide whether if you want to judge it yourself after you live with the mixes for a while, maybe you want to send them to people that you trust. Who knows? But instead of adding on to your mixes, you might say, how I'm going to get there, how I'm going to explore improving my mixes is by actually doing less, not more. Turn off every plugin, turn off every equalizer, every compressor, every maximizer, and just say, I'm going to have the goal of doing a mix for this song without any of the effects. I'm just going to do it with sliders. I'm going to do volume adjustments. I'm going to do panning. And I'm not going to boost anything, and I'm not going to enhance anything. And I truly believe, I've been there and I've seen it happen, that if you just back off everything and get back to the basics, you'll discover new techniques. You'll find a new way to listen. What an amazing thing. Musicians, we need to listen. And you might just say, well, okay, I'm not going to work without effects permanently, because that's not what I'm saying. But you might find that by having that purpose and by setting the goal like that, by not allowing yourself just to do what I do, keep adding effects and effects and effects, hoping it's going to sound better. Maybe by stripping it all down and back and listening to and experiencing the song and working with the song in a new way, you'll find you'll get at least a better result, and it'll move your skills and your craft forward. Maybe it's on guitar playing. Maybe there's a particular chord that you want to learn. Well, get into it. But again, don't just do what I do. You go, oh, that chord is hard. Think I'll just leave it. I'll just skip that song, or I'll just kind of play past that part. No way. Don't do that. Have a purpose. Set the goalposts. Begin to work on that chord. Every time that you play, maybe you can just take 30 seconds, take a minute, and just slowly and precisely place your hands on the neck. You don't even have to worry about the right hand. If you're right-handed, just place your fingers there, hold the guitar, get that particular chord shape, and then practice transitioning from that shape to the next one. Because this brings me up to another point that was so important that I made a note, which is to say, challenge yourself a little bit every day to do something well. And sure, that could be a life philosophy, but here today we're to talk about it as a musical philosophy. So whatever, maybe you're already playing a song and you're like me and you're playing a boogie piece on piano, and that left hand, to really play it, wow, that would take a bit more practice. So what do? I just fall back on something kind of similar that I already know, and then I don't go anywhere. And it's really not that satisfying, is it? So if you purpose and you say, every day I'm going to challenge myself to do something well. That could be something new, or that could be perfecting, not making it perfect, but the process of perfecting something that you already do. There's amazing satisfaction that comes out of musically doing something a little bit better than you did it before. And I encourage you all to try it. And again, don't let it happen by accident, but purpose to make it happen. Have a goal. Do it a little bit better today than you did it yesterday. And who knows where you might end up. So what do you think? I would love some feedback about this. What do you think about having a purpose in mind musically? I'm not saying take things too seriously. I'm also not saying that you shouldn't have fun. Part of this is, in fact, so you can have greater enjoyment and greater fun, because having more options, having more confidence musically is just going to deepen the amount of fun that you can have with music. And please, don't be hard on yourself. This isn't the kind of thing where you say, well, I'm going to compare myself to this person or that person, or why can't I do this? Why can't I get this? No, don't do that. That's not cool or necessary, and it's completely not helpful. The idea is for you, wherever you're at, to challenge yourself a little bit. And that's really it, because you're talking about your own standards. Whatever it is that you could do yesterday, try to approach it and do it a little bit better, with a little bit more focus, a little bit more purpose today. And some skill that you're not capable of at all today, take a little step and acquire that skill, step by step, bit by bit. And I think you'll find that that satisfaction is so tremendous that you're just going to get addicted to it, and you're going to want to keep doing it over and over and over again. So, I'm Markus, the man from Mars. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Thank you so much.